Hello, my name is Lindsey. I am the Managing Director of Intercultural Journeys, and I joined the Cuba trip February 10th to February 17th, 2014. I am from Central Virginia, Hanover County, Doswell, Virginia specifically, and this has been an absolutely wonderful tour of Cuba.
Well, Lindsay, when you first heard about this trip and you said to people that you're considering going to Cuba or you might go to Cuba, what was the response of people?
The response was, generally speaking, the same thing, which was, oh my goodness, you are so lucky. You have to do this. You have to take so many photos. You have to bring back all this information. You have to tell us everything of what it's like. From my parents to my best friend, all of them said, I hope you realize how lucky you are. And one of the things that I've noticed since we've been here is that this country is opening up, and especially tourism is starting to become a huge, I guess, product of sorts for them. But there's still not that many Americans that get to go on a yearly basis. Unless you're Cuban American, it's pretty much 100,000 people or so, and you have to have a special license to be able to come, and you have to be part of a group. And that's been the most interesting thing, is that, you know, we weren't brought here and stuck on a beach exactly. You know, we've been having a lot of interactions with the locals and with people knowledgeable about their specific fields. Right now we're at a botanical garden, but we've had a number of music and arts experiences. We went to the university in Havana. We went to a number of Jewish community centers to talk about the small Jewish population that's here, because this is, I believe, an overwhelmingly Christian island. So it's very interesting to hear their point of view as well, and it's been really great. A lot of great interactions.
You mentioned being the managing director of Intercultural Journeys, and many people may not know it, but they can certainly look on the website of interculturaljourneys.org.
Exactly.
And they'll see that the mission really is to bring people together over common understandings through the arts, through music. Tell us about some of the encounters you've had that really kind of played on the Intercultural Journeys philosophy.
Yes, definitely. Well, you know, our mission is to promote peace and understanding and awareness of other cultures, specifically, well, through the arts, but we tend to concentrate on music. So we've had a number of musical opportunities. I would almost say one each day, honestly, hearing local musicians. And we also had a fabulous musician, two fabulous musicians on the trip. One, Udi Bar-David, cellist with the Philadelphia Orchestra, and Emilio Gravano, a retired bassist with the Philadelphia Orchestra, and they actually got a chance to sit in with some of the local artists, and that was just phenomenal. I mean, the locals really appreciated being able to see, you know, what these musicians back in the United States do. And we've actually seen a couple of groups that luckily are going to be able to tour the U.S. That was, I guess, one of the saddest parts was we would ask local musicians, you know, can you go to the States, or you know, and there was either not enough support or not any resources or just some complications for them to come to the States. But there was a choir we saw last night that is planning an East Coast tour, and we're very excited about that. And so hopefully we'll be in touch with them as they're making their trip up the East Coast. But it's been really fabulous, and I think being an American, you don't necessarily know what to expect when you come here. And of course there's a long history between America and Cuba, but the people are so warm, and I feel like we have really gotten to see some of the true Cuba, you know, instead of what our media, you know, or what we are exposed to back in the States. And it is a bit of a different story, and so it is a little bit eye-opening.
Can you give an example of what you call the different story of what Americans here and what you're experiencing here in Cuba?
Well, I think that the people are happier than I had sort of expected, and they're very warm. You know, I haven't traveled very much, but the one time I did travel was in 2004, and it was to Western Europe. It was to Italy, and you know, I mean, nobody, you know, being an American in Italy, there was no hard feelings, but you know, people sort of treated you, you know, America sort of has a bit of a reputation amongst other countries, and so I think that's one of the things I wasn't knowing what to expect. And when you've got something like the U.S. economic embargo on a particular country, and you were visiting that country, I think you know, I was a little hesitant to see what the response would be, if we would be hated or if we'd be welcomed. And overwhelmingly, we have been welcomed, and and that's been the best part. And I think that that's one of the things that, talking about intercultural journeys and bringing people together, this trip really does show you that, you know, we're all human, and And there's a lot of connections we can make. And even if you don't understand the language, you know, the body language, we've just gotten so much and understood so much about one another. And we all really come from the same place in the end, you know?
Well, thank you for sharing, and I hope
Absolutely.
more people get to experience what you've experienced. I hope more people get to learn about Intercultural Journeys. It is a very special organization, and your travels here, and
Yes.
I know Intercultural Journeys is looking into doing some future travels both to Cuba and other places, and we really thank you for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you.